how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. If you can hear my cat purring, I'm so sorry if it's distracting. He's very cuddly right now. He just wants to purr. Welcome to my channel, to my home, to my boudoir. What? That doesn't make any sense. Welcome to my January wrap up. It's so nice to see you. How have you been? It's been so long. You look great, by the way. Amazing. You look stunning. I literally am jealous of how stunning you are. It's actually kind of annoying, but whatever. January for me didn't feel like that good of a reading month, but I did read quite a bit. I think I read 8 to 10 books, which for me is pretty good. Let's stop f***ing around. Let's find out and let's talk about these books, okay? In case you don't know, in my wrap-ups, we talk about the books from my least favorite to my most favorite. It's gonna be great. I'm out of breath and I'm sweating. I'm sweating underneath my makeup. Does it ever happen to you? Where you're so powdered, so snatched that even your perspiration can't leak through the thick layer of concealer and foundation you've spackled onto your face? That's me right now. First things first, I want to talk about 2 books that I DNF'd in January. One of those books is The House Witch. This is a cozy fantasy kind of book. It kind of reads like fan fiction, if I'm being honest, but fan fiction of a fandom that no one has ever heard of. In this, we are basically following the chef guy. He shows up at this new castle and everyone's oh my god, you're kind of hot, but also super rude. So it's weird. And he's shut up, you know? That's him. But we find out that it's because he's a house witch and he can do magic and stuff. And he doesn't want people to know that he can do magic. So we're just basically following him at this specific castle with this specific kingdom. And I think he's going to be more important in terms of saving the kingdom. I don't know. I honestly didn't finish this because I just didn't have the willpower. I got this close to finishing it, and then when I ran out of time, I was nah, it's fine. I will finish it probably, eventually. Didn't finish this, but I do like it. Is it perfect? No. Is the writing great? Not really. Are the characters great? No. Is the world building okay? It's alright. It's very middle of the road kind of book. It's fine. And I also bought the second book, so I do have to read it. The other thing that I DNF'd, not necessarily on purpose, but just because kind of started reading other things and I was yeah, whatever, I'll go back to it eventually. That is The Wandering Inn. Listen, okay, let me tell you a little story, all right? Let me tell you a story, all right? I was browsing on the internet, right? I was on the internet just looking up stuff, going down the rabbit hole of looking at books. Specifically, I was looking for cozy books, cozy fantasy books. If you want to be super specific, cozy fantasy books. And I came across, why am I talking this accent? And I came across this book. It was called The Wandering Inn. And I was these covers are fucking stunning. And then I was oh my god, there's more than one. There's a whole series and they look so cute. Then I did a little bit more research. I started digging even more. Found out there's only audiobooks for these books. Doesn't even have an ebook. Or maybe it does have an ebook. I don't remember. But it didn't have a physical book. It just had the audiobook and the ebook, I think. And I was that really sucks because I really want a physical copy because they're stunning. They're stunning covers. And then I found out that each of these books is over 40 hours. 40 hours. 40-hour audiobooks. When I saw that, I was George R. R. Martin would shit his pants. Even the longest book I've ever read isn't 40 hours long. I think it was free if you had an Audible subscription, I think. And so I was what do I have to lose? And basically, if you're wondering and interested, really, The Wandering Inn is it's an isekai, but this girl, she randomly falls into a portal and is sucked into a different world, sucked into this fantasy world. She comes across this abandoned inn, and so she's you know what, I have nowhere else to go, there's no one else around, let me just stay here. You're just following her trials and tribulations, but there also might be more as to why she specifically was pulled into the world along with other people, because there have been other people pulled into the world. Listen, again, hear me out. Listen, I was reading it and I was really liking it. Like, and that's kind of the weird thing. It's not technically like a book. I think it's supposed to be like an RPG kind of thing, or it was like originally like an RPG, but somebody like wrote it. I honestly, I don't even know. But now I find myself in this weird position where I really liked the story. I really liked the characters. I really want to know what's going to happen. And I'm pretty sure I literally got like at least halfway through that 40-hour audiobook. And I do want to finish it. So I will finish it. Please, also, if you're watching this and you're like, oh my God, I love that. Please let me know if you've read or listened to The Wandering Inn. Please let me know, because I want to talk about it with other people, but I just can't see anyone else looking at those audiobooks. Like the 5 books in the series, with each of them being like 30 to 40 hours or more, and being like, yeah, I'm gonna commit my time to this. I can't see it. I can't see some other stupid bitch. I can't see anyone other than me be like, you know what? I'll do it. Like, I'm a idiot, but I still really liked it. I just didn't have the time for it in January. So anyway, okay, in last place, and like, honestly, it's not even like that bad. It's literally just like the worst of the good things I read, and that is One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose. This is like a thriller, murder mystery kind of moment. If you've read a thriller, you've read this book. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you have read one single thriller, you have read this book. That's how generic this is. And like, God bless, I love Geneva Rose. I love her on TikTok. She's hilarious. Like, fuck you, Scott. But this is so generic, so every other thriller, that I can't be like, oh my God, I loved this. This was crazy and just so good. Like, no, everything was very predictable, in my opinion. I kind of saw the end coming. I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of saw it coming. All of the characters are, wait, I guess I should tell you what it's about. So basically in this, we are going between a bunch of different perspectives of all of these women who live in this community. And in this community, they're all like stinking, dirty, rich. Like, they're loaded, right? Except for this one girl named, I think, Jen. She owns like a hair salon, and she's part of this kind of like group, but she's like the poor girl, really. And some of the rich women are like, you're so lucky, Jenny. We gave you your start. If without us, without me, you would be nowhere. You would still be poor, little pavo bitch. And that's like literally like the attitude of most of these women, of like being elitist, you know what I mean? And we know at the beginning of the book that one of these women is dead, of course, because the title also tells you that one of them is dead. And we have to like go through the book and figure out who it is, you know? Was this bad? No. It was so fun. Was it anything new? No. It's exactly what I would expect if I just picked up a random thriller. Do you know what I mean? And is that bad? Not necessarily. Familiarity can be comforting. I would say honestly that this is a 3-star book for me. If you like the cover, if you like the premise, give it a try, give it a read. You might like it more than me, honestly. I liked it, but I wouldn't say that it was, mind-blowing and life-changing. No. It really wasn't. But I am interested to see what other books Geneva Rose has. And I think she also has a new release coming out pretty soon too. I think maybe in 2024, 2023, I don't remember. But I'm excited to see more of her work. Anyway, next up we have Jackal by Erin E. Adams. This is like a thriller horror moment, kind of. I don't know. It's like difficult to place exactly what genre this is. Oh, excuse me, sir. This is about this girl named Liz, right? Liz gets invited to her like best friend's wedding, but Liz lives in like New York, and the wedding is like at her hometown, which like she vowed to like, excuse me, sir. She vowed to like never return, like never. She was like, I'm never going back to that stupid crusty, disgusting place. It's not happening. Her best friend is like, you should come to my wedding and be in like the wedding party. And she's like, fucking fine, I guess. Like, whatever, I'll do it. I'll do it, fine. So she's at the wedding, everything's fine, everything's great. And then the bride's daughter, Caroline, is missing. Liz was the one who was watching her. Ooh, just so uncomfortable, so awkward. Like, imagine you're supposed to be babysitting this kid and the kid like slips between your little fingies. That's weird. Slips between your fingers, and you have to do the embarrassing thing and go to the parents and be like, your child's probably dead. I'm so sorry. But I must actually also leave, so good luck finding her. Like, how uncomfortable. Oh my god, I would literally, no thank you. No thank you. This is why I don't babysit children. Also because I don't like children. Anyway, Liz is heartbroken because first of all, she loves this kid. Second of all, it's like, again, super uncomfortable, super awkward to be like, it's my fault, you know? There's also this other thing about this town where like, it seems, and Liz kind of gathers this through her investigations to find Caroline, that people go missing a lot in this town. Not only just like people though, but like black girls specifically go missing. And it's a bit suspicious. I liked this a lot. The first half of the book like had me like hook, line, sinker. Like I was there. I was at the wedding. I was with Liz. I was getting slightly drunk. You know what I mean? Like I felt it. And not only that, but like the characters also were like just so hypnotic, where there were certain characters where you're like, you're suspicious, you're weirdly not suspicious, and because of that I'm actually suspicious. Like all those things where you're kind of just like calculating and stuff. The second half of the book though, I don't know, it kind of lost me a bit. I can't explain why. I think maybe part of it was that the sort of fantastical fantasy horror, I'm not even sure, aspects of the book didn't completely sell me. Do you know what I mean? The otherworldly things didn't seem to be cohesive with the rest of the novel. Do you know what I mean? The end of it, I was like, wait, what is going on? Also, honestly, I kind of wanted it to be like more horror. Although I think that's more to do with like my expectations than the actual book, because I expected, based on what people had told me, that like the book was going to be like really horrific and like very horror, and then it was very much like mostly thriller, some horror type of thing. I don't know what to think of it. Overall, I liked it. Overall, I would recommend it, especially if you want something that's like a thriller horror moment. It's good. Overall, it's good. This book, I literally didn't expect it to be so low on this list, because I expected it to be at the top, the tippity top, and it's not. And that is Malice by John Gwynne. John, the dude? Like, how far we fall. I have an entire reading vlog, by the way, for this book on my Patreon. You can go ahead and check that out if you want to. The link is always at the top of the description. If you're interested, also, we do reading sprints all the time. I think there's like 69, 68 reading sprint videos on Patreon that aren't on YouTube. And then there's like probably, I want to say maybe like 10 reading vlogs that again aren't on YouTube. So if you're interested, check it out. There's always a link. If you want more content from me, Patreon is the place to go. Okay, Malice was our Patreon book club pick. First of all, what is this about, you might be asking? That's a good question, and one that I wish I could answer. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really know. I read the entire book and I literally don't know. Basically, we're following people in this world. Oh my god, I cannot even tell you what this is about. I literally can't. It's basically high fantasy though. We're following different characters. I literally don't know. Okay, don't ask questions. The first half of this book, I was just getting more and more and more angry, to the point where like halfway through I was like, this book is 2 stars. 2 stars, John. I'm not f***ing around, because I'm not gonna find out. And then I actually did find out, and I was like, okay, 3 stars. So overall, I did give this book 3 stars, but there's just something about it that just like annoys me so much because it's so confusing. Like, and I get it, like it was his debut novel, his debut like high fantasy moment, and I can't even imagine how difficult that must be to like create like an entire world, the characters, set everything up perfectly. Like, it's got to be difficult, and like he does it perfectly for me in Shadow of the Gods. But this, he fumbled. He dropped the ball. It's on the ground. He did not do his due diligence with setting up this world and the characters, because the first half of the book, honestly, I was confused as I didn't know what the was going on. I was like, why do I care about any of these things? And I think that's what it was that I never had a clear idea or motivation of what these characters wanted. So like, as I was reading it, I was like, okay, Corbin is like whatever, but like, why do I care? And I realized I didn't care because I had no idea what Corbin's end game was. And not only that also, but like Veritas or Nathir, like I had no idea what their end game was. What the do they want? What are their needs and their wants? What do they desire? You know? It's a bit confusing. But I will say there were a few face crack moments and a few like theories that I'm kind of like, first of all, number one, Rafe got what he deserved. He got what was coming to him. Second of all, Nathir and Veritas, so gay. Third of all, Storm is an icon. I love her so much. Fourth, Nathir for sure did it. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, I'm so sorry. But those are like the top things that I'm like, this is true. These are facts. Despite how much I like and yet dislike the book, I am going to continue on with it because people do tell me that the second and third book are even better than this one. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep reading. Also because I bought them, so I can't even not read them. So yeah, I'm going to finish this. The first book was not good. So next, let's talk very quickly about the Tea Dragon Society. I read the first volume and the second volume, which I believe in the second volume, I think is called the Tea Dragon Festival. These were so cute, like so adorable, made me want to die. Also the art, like it just gives me like Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, like Chobits energy, like especially this image, Chobits. Look at her hair, Chobits. Look at her character design, Chobits. That bitch is chi. It's just cute, it's inclusive, it's gay. What more do you want? Also, there's like tiny little dragons and they're so cute. Literally, it just makes me want to die, but like in the best way. Really loved that. Next, I have Hellbent by Lee Bardugo. This, I'm sure you know what this is. I did an entire reading vlog where I talked about this. I will link it down below. This was fine. I know that some girlies on BookTube and like Book Talk and Bookstagram are like ride or die, and I get it. Like when you find your thing and like the thing that you are like just hooked on and you love, I get it. Like that was me with Ninth House. Where like people would be like, I didn't like it because of this and this and this, and I would be like, you're literally f***ing stupid. Like what do you mean? Like that was me. I was like, I was ready to tear and claw and chew my way through anyone who like said that Ninth House didn't deserve all of its praise. Like I was ready. However, for me personally, this wasn't my favorite thing. Like I liked it a lot, but was it perfect? Was it as good as Ninth House? No. If this is any indication to anyone, which it might not be, I literally didn't even finish annotating the book. I got halfway through annotating it and then just didn't. If that's any indication to anyone. In case you don't know what Ninth House is about. So basically it's about this girl named Alex. She's like psychic kind of. She can see ghosts, which are called greys, and Yale is like, come to Yale, Alex, and she's like, fine, sure, but they only want her because she can see the ghosts, and they basically like indoctrinate her into this cult thing that's going on at Yale, like secretively. And so she enters this like secret society where people can like do rituals and stuff, and yeah, that's, oh, and then this girl dies and Alex has to like solve the mystery. It's like a whole like mystery dark academia fantasy moment. This book specifically is much more fantasy than it is like dark academia or mystery. The first book is like a very dark noir kind of moment. This is more Crescent City. Like this one is serving Sarah Janet Jamal Moss. If you watch the vlog, you may know also that like my issue really with this is how much Leigh Bardugo is girl boss, gatekeeping, gaslighting us like into thinking that Alex Stern, and like, listen, am I delusional? Yes, of course I'm delusional. Tiffany, how do you think I'm not delusional? I'm of course delusional. But am I f***ing stupid? Maybe. Okay, but honest, but no, I'm not. I'm not f***ing stupid, Leah. You can't convince me that this 5'4" woman, this 5'4" Latina woman with peonies and snakes tattooed on her arms is not gay. You cannot convince me. It's not plausible. It's not. People like Alex Stern don't fall for people like Darlington. And I know that some people are going to be like, that's inaccurate and incorrect. And like, sure, you're welcome to your opinion. However, in my opinion, Alex Stern and Darlington have no fucking chemistry whatsoever. Because also, may I also just say this, and I know this is like becoming like a conspiracy video, but like, also consider this. Alex and Darlington have known each other for accumulatively, like they have spent time for a few months. They have known and spent time together for a few months. Other than that, Darlington was fucking missing. Like this is the entire duration of Ninth House and Hellbent. Darlington was gone for this much. Like you can't tell me that this woman has chemistry with a guy who was missing for over 70% of the series. That's delusional. Like I'm delusional, but that's fucking delusional. You can't tell me. Okay, now class, who has she spent time with this entire time? Pamela Dawes. Pamela motherfucking Dawes, who also, by the way, is my girlfriend and like my love. Like I love, oh my God, I have such a big crush on Pam. If Pamela was even real, I would die. Pamela Dawes. She has spent the most time with Pamela Dawes. She's had the most interaction, the most chemistry, the most like getting to know with Pamela Dawes. And yet Leigh Bardugo in her heteronormativity little ass brain was like, you know who she needs to be with? The guy that's been gone and now has a glowing dick. Are you joking? Leah. Also, I didn't mention that in the reading vlog and I regret it because like, it's like all I think about. It's all I fucking think about. That Leigh Bardugo in this book had Darlington show up with a dick that was like a glow stick. Like his genitals were glowing and hard, by the way, which is so fucking weird. Like, don't tell me that. I don't want to know. These little things that she includes, specifically Darlington's big fat hog standing erect and glowing like a fucking sea urchin or something. Do those glow? I don't know. But like whatever, like think of a glowing thing and that's what his dick was. Like, Leah, make it make sense. Like she's not gay and then also Darlington now is a glow stick for a dick. Are you joking? There's just so much going on. There's so much wrong, you know? And there's so much wrong and the call is coming from inside the house. Listen, if you've read this book, you know what I mean. You know the abrupt like gag, choke, gasp when Leigh Bardugo had the audacity, the gall and the fucking gumption to describe Darlington sitting, glowing, and also having the gall and the audacity to also describe his erect penis. That's a ballsy move and I respect it. I don't like it though. I don't like it at all. My problems with it are the whole glow stick thing, weird and unnecessary. And the fact that she also, can I also just say, the fact that she also like mentioned it multiple times. Like the first time I was like, okay, she's just painting a full picture. She wants us to know. That's fine. The second, third, and fourth time, I was like, it's too much, Leah. I don't need to think about Darlington's glowing dick. It's fine. Thank you so much. Like, stop. Every time she described his penis, I became a little less bi and a little bit more gay. I'm not even joking. I was like, this is not helping me be attracted to men. So that was an issue for me. I didn't like that. I also don't like the fact that Alex is seemingly a heterosexual woman, and that like people keep wanting to make that canon, and yet Helly and Dawes exist. And so I just can't seem to wrap my little bird brain around it. Maybe I'm too dumb, I don't know, but something is fishy and suspicious. Other parts I didn't like. It was very like, and I know that this sounds rude, but it was like supernatural, like CW supernatural fan fiction kind of in like moments. It was giving that. It was giving like Crescent City. It was like very much trying to be like Sarah J. Maas. Like there was so much fantasy that it was like almost like, excuse me, back up a second. Like this is like a little bit too much. Like it became too superhero cliche. That's the word. That's the word. It was cliche, especially towards the end where there was like these like archetypes that the characters are sort of like slotting into. I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I'm like, just give me what you gave me in Ninth House, but like better. Do you know what I mean? Like make her gay and then do everything that you did in Ninth House. I don't need all of this like fippy dippy stuff. You know what I mean? All this stuff where they're like, I'm magical. Like if I wanted magic and glow stick dicks, I would like read Sarah J. Maas. I didn't come here for that, Leah. So get back in line. What I did like about it though, of course, was Alex. I fucking love Alex so much. And I love Dawes. And I love Dawes in this book specifically because she's in it so much. Not only that, but she's like literally so hot. She's so smart. She's so beautiful and creative. Like, and not only that, but she's also a bad bitch. Oh, I love her so much. Anyway. Darlington, whatever. I really don't care about Darlington. Is that rude to say? I don't really care. Anyway, I've spent so long on this book. I'm gonna move on. But yeah, I read this and it was like a solid 4 stars. The second last book I have is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I don't know where my copy is, but I did do a reading vlog for this as well. The same one that I did for Hellbent. So I will link it down below in case you want to watch it. This is about this guy. He like works for basically like social services kind of thing, but it's like a fantasy world. There are a lot of children that are like magical, mythical, whatever. He gets basically this like special assignment to go to this one orphanage, and they're like, we're sending you because we trust you. You seem like impartial. It's like cool, whatever. So then he goes and he finds out that at this house, this orphanage, is the Antichrist. Listen, it's very, very fun. It's very cute. I really love the characters, especially, and like I love how funny everything was. Honestly, this is the kind of book to make your heart melt, like melt in your chest. Like I said in that reading vlog, my issue with it is TJ Klune and his use of indigenous trauma to inspire his story. Like that's just weird. And like I said in the reading vlog, if you write a book, shut the f up. Shut up. We don't fucking care what your intention was. We don't care what inspired you. I don't fucking care. I don't want to know. Because the moment you say some stupid shit, it's gonna ruin everything for me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Shut up. That's just me. Overall, this was very cute. I don't really have much to say about it, honestly, because it was just cute. It was just fun. If you want something that's gonna be like cozy and, you know, heartwarming, read it. I liked it. The last book and the #1 book of the month, the book I love the most, and the book that I literally didn't expect to be the #1 was literally just like a last minute thing where I was like, yeah, I guess I'll read this. Like I didn't even plan for it at all. And then it literally just blew me away. And that was The Watchers by A.M. Shine. This is a horror novel and it's so f***ing good. Susie, Taylor, Trinity, Tiffany, Jonathan, I'm telling you. This is it. This is so good. This is about, of course, this girl. Mina is doing this like tiny little side job kind of thing where she's delivering this bird. And so she's on her way. And then her car breaks down in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, right? And so Mina is like, well, this sucks. This is like a bummer. And then Mina starts to hear screaming in the middle of the woods. And so she hears that. she gets out of her car to investigate. What kind of idiot gets out of their car to investigate screaming? If I was in the middle of buttfuck nowhere and there was a forest and I heard blood curdling screams, you couldn't pay me to get out of that car. And it's there that she comes across something that she didn't expect. And listen, I don't want to spoil anything because I don't want to give anything away because it's not what you expect. But I'm telling you, this is so fucking good. Has this ever been done before? Of course, yes. Is it fun? Yes, it's very fun. It's fun and it's creepy and it's tense. It's very, very tense. There are moments where you're like, what the f is going on? Also, the end, face crack. I literally never in a million years would have ever expected the end of this book to be the end of this book. Like, I didn't expect it. They were like twists and turns the whole time. I can't even tell you. I'm telling you, if you want something spooky and creepy and horror, read this book. You're going to love it. It's so good. I'm telling you. And I'm going to be reading another one of A.M. Shine's books. Yeah, pick this up. It's so good. My friends, my family, my familia. Thank you so much for watching this video, for being here with me, for you. Thank you. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. I would love to know, please. Also, if you've watched this far, go ahead and leave me that emoji, this emoji, that one. It'll tell me that you are the true MVP. Don't forget also to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit. We talk about creepy shit. We talk about watching the watchers and being hell-bent and shit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Au revoir. Goodbye. Remember in The Little Rascals, they do this? Oh my gosh. I've got a pickle. I've got a pickle. I've got a pickle. Hey, hey. Oh my god. I should rewatch that movie. That movie was so good. Anyway, bye.